contentious. Welcome to Valley Children's Stadium in Fresno, California, home to the Fresno State Bulldogs. As we'll see a squad from the Mountain West, the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, taking on last year's national champions, the Fresno State Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Fresno State will kick it off and we will be underway. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors offense will have the opening possession of the game. There are always butterflies to start a game, but when you have a rivalry like this, the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive, guys.
They aren't all the same. We say that, but we know differently. The blood is boiling, the temperature is hot. Jesse, you want this week more than most.
Yeah, Dave, we played in these games before. Everything just seems to be heightened, right? The game seems to be moving faster. The crowd noise feels louder. Your composure will be tested early in a game like this.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Davis will throw. Oh, they're after him. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? The Rainbow Warriors want to pick up the tempo. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Oh, right through his hands. They came out attacking, wanted to impose their will, and they missed a big chance on that one. And the Rainbow Warriors will punt it away on fourth down. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. He gets his first one of the day out of there. They used him 3 times in that loss last week. So Fresno State's offense will try to get something going with their first possession. And last week, you want to talk about a guy using every tool in the bag from the running back position. David, this guy did it.
He was a monster, man. I think when you turned on the tape this week, you saw it, man. So many different ways he could hurt you, and he could be a focal point of this offense. The defense, they know well and good of what happened last week. And their first objective this week, Palmer, is to stop that dude.
Yeah, they know the entire offense goes through him. All week long, they've been stressing tackling, staying in your gaps, waiting at the point of attack.
Turning it on! And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line.
Get the big-time receiver involved early in the game. That's a huge key for this offense, no matter who they're playing against. But you can see, with his size, with his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting his defense on it.
Sprinting away! He's at the touchdown Bulldog! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Hawaii has it back as they send the offense onto the field. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Off the play fake on first down. He lofts one down the sideline. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down.
Well, the offense is trying to take a shot deep down the field. How about the coverage? Knocking that ball away and doing it clean. No PI on that one.
So now it's second and long. Davis looking to pass. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
Well, this guy's become a bit of a problem for opposing offenses. In their last game, he had 2 sacks, and he's dominating again, getting his first sack in this game now. He right now is wrecking people's game plans, and this offense better find initiate the rush, and all of a sudden people are swatting at the ball. They hit you, they knock it out. Got to do a better job next time of keeping two hands on the ball so you don't get it scooped and scored like what happened right there.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Hawaii offense returns to the field. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. Pulls it, fired, complete. And this one will be stopped for no gain. The Rainbow Warriors are in the hurry-up.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. Complete in the middle. There he goes. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
Off the play fake on first down, the throw. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally now you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
Davis will throw. Grabs it in the middle. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. And the Rainbow Warriors decide to punt it away.
And that was a big objective for this defense coming into the game. Talking to coaches, we want to keep him in the pocket. We don't want him to use his wheels. He's fast, he's elusive, can make big plays. Nice job by the defense keeping him in the pocket and getting the sack.
Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work. Going right to work up top. Grabbed in the middle. It's Cochran. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. Wants to adjust the pattern. Wants to throw on first down. Trying to escape and get it himself. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there.
I think he did a really good job, first of all, keeping his eyes downfield. You could see he wanted to throw the football. But when it's not there, don't force it. Tuck it down. Get some positive yards.
Got the first down and more. Breaks into the open. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Fresno State. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6.
They are absolutely boat racing this team right now. We're not even at the 2nd quarter yet, and this offense has been up and down the field. They've taken a huge lead early. Everything they're dialing up, David, is working.
Yeah, so I'm going to flip this to the other side. I'm going to need my offense to score some points, and in a hurry. Like, they got to figure it out, but they got to put a drive together, keep us off the field, score some points, and let us find some answers, because right now... we have none.
Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on first down. The throw. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Oh, it's picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. He's at the 10. He's out of bounds at the 5, and what a job to set up his offense.
And how about this defense, man? You talk about providing a spark and some energy. They make the big interception. I think most importantly, Jesse, set their offense up in ridiculous field position.
And that's one thing this defense practices so much throughout the week, right? It's creating turnovers. They are so opportunistic on that side of the football. And they've got athletes. They've got dudes that are dangerous once they get the ball in their hands. And you saw it right there on that tremendous return.
This defense has been sliced and diced, and now facing another first and goal. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Man, you got to give credit to this defense. In the sudden change situation, they've barely had a chance to even blink. Just a second ago, they were on the sideline. All of a sudden, there's a turnover. They got to take the field. They're on their own goal line, and a phenomenal job getting lined up, communicating, and making sure that
Beck's going for the goal line. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Fresno State.
How explosive is this offense, right? They rev it up so quickly. Speed, playmaking ability, versatility, running, throwing, NFL talent all over the place. And after that last touchdown, they've already blown this game wide open. And guys, we're not even through the first quarter yet.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll leave it with him. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Tight end now in motion. Hand off to the single back. And he make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Davis looking to pass. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
The Rainbow Warriors will try to pin them back with the punt. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Nestles it in at the 35. He'll be guided out of bounds, but not before a nifty return on that one. This should be the last play of the quarter. They go to the ground. And he's brought down after a solid gain, and we are done in the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, guys, and Fresno State is on top. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Might be calling a hot route. To the air on second down. Running through contact. He gets it in. Touchdown, Bulldog. He's no stranger to the end zone. His 50th career touchdown grab.
Doesn't matter who's direction if you want to win games. He is a difference maker. He's one of the best in the nation. 50 touchdown catches is incredible.
It's just incredible production and just sustained production consistently week in and week out in the lineup. You know, you're going to throw him the football. You know exactly what you're going to get. What an unbelievable number to hit.
And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. Hawaii ready to go back to work on offense. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Use the play fake, now to throw. He's going to let it go. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. And you can see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
Complete to the left. And he's down at the 41. That's a first down.
First job for the QB a lot of times. Look at those safeties. Is it man or is it zone? Nice job. You could tell right away. He saw it was zone, understood where to go with the football, and that's why this offense had a positive gain right away.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and
the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
I tell you what, if I'm this QB, I am ill as a hornet at my offensive line. Are you kidding me? That's the 6th time they put me on the ground. Dudes, will y'all protect me a little bit better, please?
Sets up the screen. Oh, he's got some space. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
That's a tough one to execute on offense in that situation. Third down, you know it's going to be man coverage. If that receiver's not able to create any separation, then he's going to get tackled as soon as he catches the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Now setting up for
wide open spaces. He's touchdown Hawaii. He broke away from the defense and they couldn't catch him.
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners when he kicked it in gear and got the long touchdown.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he takes this from inside the 5. Makes a move. Out of bounds at the 40, and quite a return to set up the offense here. Fresno State takes over, and the offense will go back to work. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gotten out everybody right now on the same page.
I like the QB here. Very decisive, understanding. I get the ball to my slot guy. He can make plays after. Like the quickness, the speed, the elusiveness. You watch it, man. Just he catches the football and a big play can happen. And you saw after the catch, man, he's got some wheels.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Pulls and fires complete. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He's in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
Snap from the gun on 3rd down. Makes the grab. Across the 25. Inside the 20-yard line. Pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football. You know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. You know, sometimes even a short gain like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense, pressuring the quarterback.
The offense changing the play. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to throw again. He's got his man. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down. We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. It's good. Well, that's just piling on. Not the penalty kind, just the mean kind.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Davis will throw. Just a Baryshnikov-like move on the sideline to tap that toe and get the first down.
And there's finally a bright spot for this offense in the passing game, completing that on 3rd down. I know we're in the 2nd quarter. They're trailing by a lot, but you need something positive to happen here to build some momentum. Maybe they can build on that, drive the field, score some points before going here at halftime, get a little juju going.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it?
Well, the offense is able to avoid disaster right there. Problem is they fumbled it, but thankfully they were able to jump back on and not have a turnover.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming. And the Rainbow Warriors will bring the punt team onto the field. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Makes the catch and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Really explosive when he gets his hands on the ball, and he found a couple of crevices and made a nice game before being run out of bounds. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Looking to go up top and times running out in the half. Out of bounds at the very edge of the red zone at the 20.
Man, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding them? A lot of times those are linebackers. Those are safeties. You get those good matchups where you can feature one of your speedsters.
Fires deep toward the end zone. And he can't find his man as he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity.
Well, they hooked up already once for a score today, so the quarterback's going back to him again deep down the field, but it falls incomplete.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Pressure coming. Touchdown Bulldogs! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finished the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play go? Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, rivalry games always bring out a ton of emotions, and they were on full display in that first half. And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis, and through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. The Rainbow Warriors will kick it away to start the second half. From inside the 10, here he comes. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Red pass, it's complete. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Complete to the left. At the 40, there he goes. Turning it on. Touchdown, Fresno State. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Interesting matchup this week in the Mountain West, and it sure is playing out that way. Colorado State is currently working from behind, but how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you just never know. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by 1 to San Jose State. The moment something changes in this Mountain West fight, you will hear about it here. Back to you guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center nowadays in football. You can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
It's picked off, and another empty drive. Not only made the pick, but he also made up some ground and took it back to the 38.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintained.
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
Man, a lot of coaches talk about starting the drive positive and the first play that can get you going. The QB just kept backing up and going backwards, and that is not the start to the drive they were looking for.
Wants to fire on second down. Shoots it to the left. He's got an open man. Touchdown, Fresno State! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip for the house.
Big-time players make big plays in big games, man. It seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a 2-play drive. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Hawaii has it back as they send the offense onto the field. Threw a pick the last time they had it. They'll try to be more productive this time around. Throws to the wideout. Complete to the right. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down. That last play is what you call a drive starter. They're out to the 47. It's first down. Davis looking to pass. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
Quarterbacks don't have high completion percentages from their backs. It's been really hard for this QB to get in any kind of rhythm. We got to change something up here. We got to do something different because right now it's just a sack party.
And the Rainbow Warriors now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Second down, they'll go to the air. Got his man in the middle. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
QBs, when they see these zone coverages, man, some of them panic. Some of them throw it too quickly, and it can can make bad decisions. I like how he waited a little bit, waited for the right window, the right opportunity. There's always going to be holes in zones. I just got to be a little bit patient.
On 3rd and short, they'll ride the running back here. He didn't even have a chance to get back to the line. What a job by this defensive front.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. It's Vega. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. The Rainbow Warriors look to keep this drive humming. On the ground with the counter. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Under fire. And the defense gets home. Yippee-ki-yay at the 35. He spent his whole career in the backfield, now 40 career sacks.
That is absolutely insane. A guy that can get to the quarterback that much. You know where he's at, Palmer. He's on the end of the line of scrimmage most of the time. You're pointing to him. There's the guy we got to make sure that doesn't make the play, and he gets...
And he throws another interception, his 3rd one of the night.
Coming out of the tunnel in the 3rd quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the 3rd quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the 1st half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better. Like, he's going to have to read the field better and make some plays if they want to get back in this football game.
He wants to start this drive with a pass.
All right, this offense needs to come up with a solution for this defensive end because he is a problem. They have got to find a way to help out the offensive tackle to prevent this guy from getting to the quarterback.
He wants to change this route. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Makes the grab. He's loose at the 15. Tackled there by the defense.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Here on 3rd down for this offense. Off the RPO, complete. There he goes. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a 1st down. Fresno State back to work with a fresh set of downs.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 5.
Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
No big surprise there, right? You're throwing to a guy that already has 3 touchdown catches in the game, so take another shot. Every time he has looked his way, good things have happened. And that's one of the very few times in this game so far where they have not been able to hook up.
Reads it, fires complete. He stopped at the 49 after gaining 10. That's the end of the period. Fresno State has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive 4th quarter comeback. They'll go back to work with a 1st down in the final period. The give to the back. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be 1st down.
And I think that's what you want to see from this offense down the stretch. Like, can you physically dominate the game? You've got the lead. Now run the football, eat clock, continue to feed your dude.
To the ground. He's got it again. Got enough for the 1st. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
And the Bulldogs kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Here we go. Quarterback making checks. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Complete. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Smart move to keep it on the ground. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there. Fresno State lines up with a first and goal. They're going to run it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bulldog. That'll give him a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
On to attempt the try. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the Mountain West. Colorado State is currently working from behind, but how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you just never know. It's a tight one right now. They're trailing by only 5 to San Jose State. The Mountain West likes to keep things interesting, and we'll circle back if anything big happens. Gentlemen?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Handoff to the lone back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it, but the defense, they've risen to the occasion.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
You've got to love what you're seeing if you're the head coach of this team, because your defense is simply not resting on their laurels, and they're playing until there's zeros on the clock. They've got a massive lead. We're late in the fourth quarter, and they're still getting sacks.
On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure, taking a sack there.
And the Rainbow Warriors will send out the punt unit. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Makes the catch at the midfield logo. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Fresno State takes over, and the offense will go back to work. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
Breaks into the open. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. To the air on first down. Snagged in the middle. It's Cochran. And he goes down after making the grab. Picked up a few, but he's still short of the first down marker.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
The Bulldogs in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. And the Bulldogs with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving.
Here we go.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
This is a top 25 offense in college football, and I like what they do. They can run the football on 3rd downs when they need to. They show you right there. They've got some balance to them. They really know who they are. They have a good identity, and that's why they've been so successful this season.
Fresno State lines up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. This time they stop in behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them, because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Hawaii offense returns to the field. At this point, it really hasn't been your best day. Just try to find something to build on here at the end, David.
Nah, just try to keep fighting. Show your kids you're going to keep fighting. Keep throwing the football. Try to get some points up. Palmer, points have been at a premium. They haven't scored very much, but keep fighting, man.
Yeah, and just, try to find things to build off of for next week as well, right? I mean, it's all about continuing to improve week in and week out. So whether that's identifying playmakers or just seeing what you can come up with here at the end of this game and not quitting.
And he doesn't find much running room. A short gain on the play. Line is set on 3rd down. To the air, it's Tollefson. Fires left. He's got it. He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game. Mark it at the 47.
And this offense has got to kick it in high gear now. Making a big play, that is great, but we got to go up-tempo. We got to go fast. We're trailing big in this ball game. We got to put a lot of drives together and maybe even get lucky with an onside kick.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
Well, obviously the offense... out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
He'll throw it. Finds his big tight end. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Likely a lost cause, but they'll throw it again. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Figuratively speaking, of course, and when you win, is that sweet.
It's glorious. To be able to brag, to be able to text message your buddies, to be able to post stuff on social media, it's a lot of fun. I think fans like it more than anybody, but it's something that every year you have a couple games starred. This was one of them, Jesse. They took care of business, and now you move on to the next.
They really did. And we saw some great individual efforts in this game by the winning team, too. So cool to see some of these players that have had terrific collegiate careers